Hi and welcome back. This is video 3 of the engine reassembly. What we did in this video was basically reinstalled the exhaust manifolds, got them tied into the exhaust, got the distributor back in, and that all squared away. Got the various sensors that went into each of the heads back in, and started mounting some other items back to the front of the engine. If you like the video, smash that like button. It really does help the channel. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and enjoy. Thank you. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to pre-lube all the engine, make sure we're getting oil out of all the push rods, and be able to do that. There we go. It's in there, and basically you operate it with an electric drill or cordless drill. Let's get that going. This is the only one that I'm not seeing any oil come out of right now. This one's coming out real slow, but it is coming out. We're going to rotate the engine so that we're going to be top dead center on number 6, and we'll try again. Okay, so we're at top dead center on the number 6, and we're going to continue with the priming. Alright, so that proves that we are getting oil up through everything, up to the rockers. This one does have oil starting to come out of it, so I think we're good. Alright, so we've pre-lubed everything. Everything looks good. So now I'm going to start mounting the exhaust manifold on the passenger side, get everything reconnected on the passenger side. The exhaust, this tube right here, which goes down and connects like so, which comes up here, right here, and we'll get that all connected, and it comes out right there, goes into the air switch cat diverter. So we'll get these bolts out, and then we'll get ready, and then we'll mount. After we get the exhaust manifold on, we'll again reinsert the sensor that goes right down there in between cylinders 6 and 8. So before we get the exhaust manifold on the passenger side back on, what we're going to do is we're going to get it back to top dead center on cylinder number 1, because we switched it over to cylinder number 6 to do the second part of the pre-lube or the pre-prime for the oil pump, so that we had that all squared away. So I want to get it back to cylinder number 1, top dead center. So let's get that done. Let's get it back to top dead center on number 1. When I put this on, I'm going to put very loosely the first and last bolt in on the exhaust manifold, so I can hang the exhaust gasket, the exhaust manifold gasket on them, and then I can put in the other bolts after it's hanging there, and lines up pretty good when you do that. Alright, so let's get this in there. Alright, so let's get those in. All right. So let's hang this guy. All right. The bolts are in, and now I'm just going to snug them up and get ready to torque them down. As you remember, a couple of these I had to use a wrench on. So the bolts are in and I'm just snugging them down. Alright, so now I'm going to start getting ready to torque those down. The exhaust manifold bolts are torqued down to 20. So we're going to move some things so that I can get some items in here. And we will get that torqued down to 20 on each one. I'm going to start in the middle and go out. Passenger exhaust manifolds installed. I'm going to get the oil dipstick mounted here. Get that squared away. Cool. That's mounted now. So now comes the fun part. I have to get the exhaust lined up and installed. So I don't know how well you can see this, but there is a bracket on the side of the exhaust right there that that on this tube down here that right on that tube down there goes next to that, and a clip goes around the tube and around that to hold this tube in place, and I have to do that from the bottom. Alright, so I have the exhaust manifold mounted, I have it tied into the exhaust, I have this tied in to there, everything's tightened up. Now it's reconnect this to where it needs to go, which is right there, and put in that sensor. It's in between cylinders 6 and 8. Got that mounted, and then we'll be done from this down, and then I can start getting the rest of the stuff connected. I'm going to reattach this, reattach that. It was only tied in with a zip tie, which you can probably see right there. Right down there. I'll get that out of there and wrap it up with another zip tie. If I got them. And we will go from there. This on. These two nuts down here. just to have it on for now. Putting the nuts on loosely. So let's get that driver's side set in place. All right, so we're here on the driver's side. I'm gonna get the bolts out. All right. So that looks good. So this is the driver's side exhaust manifold with the new studs mounted. On them, the ones that broke off, replacing the ones that broke off. So let's see, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put one in one end, one in the other end, hang the gasket, and then go in and tighten them up. I just want to snug them up. We start in the middle. Side exhaust manifold all torqued down to 20 pounds, and now I'm going to go underneath and connect the muffler down tube to the bottom of the driver's side exhaust manifold. Okay, so we have all the exhaust. It's tied in, the exhaust manifold on the driver's side tied in. It's tied into the muffler there. Now we're back to this tube right here, and we're going to get that connected up and get that going. I'm going to start on this side because, believe it or not, it's the easier of the two. So I put in this sensor, and it uses a 13/16, and this one's 15/16. And I think I'm going to get a socket for that one as well. Okay, so I got the water temperature sensor in. Now I'm putting in the cold start sensor, and we'll get that in. This one's a 15/16, and since I don't have anything in 3/8, I'm going to use 1/2 inch. And I want like so. Good, we're done. All right, let me get this back on here for right now. So we got this line back in, we got the sensors back in, we have the sensor here back in, we have the sensor here back in, but I have to make the blade for the wire. I have to attach the blade for the wire. It's the one that busted off on the driver's side. Now, sensor. Let's get that sensor in. What do we got there? That's on. So, what do we got now? The distributor. Let's get that going. Cool. Everything lines up now. Line there, a mark there, a mark there. Good. So I got the distributor in. I got it all wired back up. I got this vacuum solenoid back in, connected and mounted on that bracket that mounted to the intake manifold. I have the vacuum line to the EGR connected. I have this getting ready for the plenum. I have this that goes to the bottom of the throttle body. That goes into that vacuum line, vacuum switch right here. So we're basically ready to start putting on plenum runners and getting ready to start laying all the other stuff in here. That has to go around like that. The reason this tool is so useful is this reason, right like that. Goes underneath all this stuff and gets to the distributor bolt, and the distributor is lined back up. I will have to time it again, you know, it's not 100%, but I know that it's at top dead center in the number 1 cylinder, and this is pointing to the number 1 spark plug right here. Right there. So that's all good. We've made quite a bit of headway today. Quite a bit. We got through a lot of items that I didn't think we'd get to, but we're doing good. I will be taking the blue tape markers off. You know, this one goes to the underneath the plenum. Let's see where we are. Thank you for watching video 3 of the engine reassembly. If you like the video, smash that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. They both help out the channel. If you want to be notified of upcoming videos when they get posted to YouTube, click on that notification icon. And you have a good day, and thank you again. Bye.